Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're going to be taking a look at Ezreal Supplementary Guide, right? So Ezreal of course did just get buffed in the latest patch, and one of those buffs is a 10% increase in AD ratio. Right? Another indirect buff is the buff to Mana Immune being able to charge faster. Now honestly, Ezreal charges Mana Immune very quickly already, so I think it's more of a buff to other Mana Immune users like Corki for example, but of course it is also a buff for Ezreal, because even though he charges it up quick, even faster is even better, right? So the main change of this build is building Serralda's Grudge as a third item. Now if you take a look at the top 3 builds, one of the people are actually using that, the second guy is actually going for that. So, of course, as usual, we start with the Gluttonous Greaves as a rush for the AD as well as the physical vamp, and then we go into like Tear and Sheen, which will eventually build into Mana Immune, which will evolve into Mirror Mana, of course giving you mana as well as of course giving you on-hit damage on your abilities as well as your auto attacks. And then of course we have Triforce, which gives you a little bit of health, AD, attack speed, ability haste, as well as giving you the Spellblade passive, which procs on your Q as well, and a little bit of movement speed, of course the 2 core items on Ezreal. Now to take advantage of the extra AD ratio he got, we actually go for Serralda's Grudge as a third item. And what this gives you is 40 AD, right? Because compared to like Bork, which gives you 25, or Riftmaker that gives you nothing, the 40 AD you get from Serralda's is actually pretty decent, right? It's not like 60 AD on IE, but it is really decent. You also get, of course, your armor pen and your slow. Of course, the slow on this is really useful if you're against a team that you can kite. So, like think of it like for example, if you're against like an Urgot, Scion, champions like that, really effective at slowing them down and preventing them from reaching you. And then we have the Bork here for, of course, the on-hit current health damage as well as just having some lifesteal. And then we actually have a GA last item, which gives you another 40 AD for even better scaling. But of course, you can sub this out for any kind of defensive item you need, like Maul, things like that, whatever you want to go for. And a question you might be wondering is what happened to Riftmaker? Well, basically, if you're already going for Serralda's Grudge as a third item, going for Riftmaker as like a last item is like really weird. So we actually decided to just leave Riftmaker out of the build. Now for the runes, PTA also got a buff, so actually we're going for that one in this game. But you could also go for Conqueror if you prefer. Now both are really good for different reasons. Like PTA is a lot better in lane, whereas Conqueror is a lot better in team fights. So it kind of depends on what the enemy team comp is looking like, what your team comp is looking like, and what is your personal preference. And then of course we have Brutal, which also procs on your Q just for the extra damage. We have Giant Slayer to deal with the tanks. Here we have Alacrity for more attack speed. You could also go for Bloodline if you prefer. And then finally we have Bone Plating just for the extra defensive capabilities. For the spells, we have Cleanse together with Flash. Generally, these are the best kind of Ezreal spells. Of course, Barrier could kind of work as well. Exhaust could kind of work as well. But most of the time, you're going to be taking Cleanse, especially if there's CC on any team, unless there isn't, right? So with all that said, let's move on to taking a look at the gameplay. Okay, so let's take a look at our gameplay itself and hop right into it. So, Ezreal, of course, did get a number of nice buffs. Right? Of course, I think the 10% AD buff is really the most significant of those buffs. Then you also combine it together with the Mana Immune buffs to charge it up even faster, with charging 15 stacks instead of 10 stacks when you have the Mana Immune, which is, of course, the first completed item that you will get, other than your boots. And then you also have the Empowerment buff by 1%, which is also a very common Ezreal rune. And actually, personally, I'm a huge fan of Empowerment on Ezreal, but of course, depending on the matchup, right? Some matchups, it's impossible to play Empowerment into, because you never really have a chance to kill in lane. Now, against this matchup, Jhin Thresh, it's a very aggressive early game kind of matchup. So you have really 2 options. You can either go for Conqueror and play to neutralize the lane and like scale into the later parts of the game, or you could go for Empowerment and contest the lane and try to actually fight them. And I've chosen to go for Empowerment and fight them if they try to fight me, kind of situation. Now Thresh on a very early like level 1 roam. I don't know if he's there to clear vision or make a play mid, but yeah, really weird roam by the Thresh. Comes back to lane now, eats a Q from me, and basically Ezreal's gameplay pretty simple. You just want to poke out the enemies whenever you can, and then don't necessarily even need to find a place to all in, but if you manage to poke them to a point where they are low, then of course that would be good. Nami lands a bubble, allowing me to hit a free Q. And so far, it's not too interesting in the lane, because Ezreal lanes are generally not the most exciting. Generally, it's just you trying to poke. and trying not to get engaged on, like especially against someone like a Thresh. Basically, you just don't want to get engaged on, and you just want to poke out Thresh and Jhin. Now Thresh, perhaps on another roam because he's gone missing once again. He's actually there in the river, hooks a minion, actually hops in, and I know he's gonna flay, so I'm actually hopping back. And here he takes the PTA damage, and I'm just running him down at this point, flashing forward to get the kill onto him. Unfortunately, Nami picks up the kill, and now Mbessa's coming from behind. Now I'm trying to get out here, but I realized that without flash and without E, there's no way I'm getting out. So I try to turn back to attack Jhin. So here I actually make a mistake, right? And the mistake that I made is just not committing to the Jhin. Because the moment I saw Mbessa, which I did, my first instinct was to run. But really there was no way I was going to be getting past Mbessa to the safety of my tower without my flash and without my E. And she's not going to just allow me to walk past her, right? So the best case scenario there was for me to try to kill Jhin and then trade kills, like trade 2 for 2, because probably Mbessa's going to kill both of us, because she's going to kill one of us, get reset and kill the other one. So the best case scenario there was to kill Jhin and then make it a 2 for 2. But since I hesitated and walked back instead of forward, I end up dying as well as Nami dying, but we don't actually end up killing the Jhin. And even worse is Jhin gets a kill and I don't. So Jhin actually is now up like 400 gold on me, just based off of what just happened right here. So that is highly unfortunate to say the least. And now we're back in lane, where Thresh is once again nowhere to be seen. And we're trying to hit Jhin under tower, even going for a very aggressive trade there, unfortunately missing the Q, removing the controller. We have the area very well warded. We have wards in both bushes in the river, so we definitely will see him if he's coming, unless of course he comes through the lane, right, which he does. So here we get 2 autos onto the Jhin, nearly proccing the empowerment. And here we also get another Q onto Thresh. We have full stack passive here, so we're actually trading a little bit with autos as well, landing the Q to ensure we maintain the stacks. And here we can just hop away when Thresh hits CC with the buffer. And here I honestly don't think I need to be this scared of the Jhin now, because we are still both really high on health, right? We don't actually really need to be that afraid, but we hightail it out of there anyway. And Thresh here hits the hook but gets hooked not hooked, but gets bubbled himself. Here both junglers are in. I hit a pretty nice 2-man ulti onto Thresh and Mbessa. Now Mbessa hits an ulti onto me. I barely am not able to dodge it. Lux hits a pretty big ult onto me. I get rooted a little bit by Jhin. Seraphine now comes over for the cleanup onto the Mbessa, as she did have the priority there. And here we're just going to clear up the wave and back. We have absolutely no mana at this point. We really need to back and pick up our tier, as well as probably a Sheen, I would think. Yep, there we go, tier and Sheen. My standard go-to first buys on Ezreal. Now you could argue that going for a Mana Immune Rush would be better, because you can of course evolve it to Mirror Mana faster, but my argument is that, especially when you have PTA, having Sheen in laning phase is very important, because Sheen gives you a lot of extra damage on Ezreal, especially after they reduced the cost of Sheen from 900 to 800 quite a number of patches ago, like a really long time ago now. But I think that was a really nice change, especially for people who want to build Mana Immune and they want to build it early for lane, champions like Ezreal for example. It's really terrific there. So here enemy team is doing Dragon. I really don't think there's a reason to contest, but here I'm just hiding in the bush to see if anything can be done. I still have my E to hop over, which is exactly what I do. I'm now just hitting Thresh. Bubble doesn't connect, unfortunately. He's really low. He flashes over the wall. Nami once again gets the kill instead of me, and that's a little bit frustrating, because here we can't really 1v1 Jhin, right? But there's no running away, so this time I'm committing to trying to kill him. Jhin gets another double kill, and now Jhin is 3-0-1 with a 1k gold lead on me. And one of the main reasons for that is because Nami is stealing all the kills. Like, if I had gotten those extra 2 kills, I would be in a lot better position than what I would be in now. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jhin would still be ahead of us, but he wouldn't be as far ahead as he actually is at the current moment. Right, so that is definitely a little bit unfortunate. So now here we're back in lane. Obviously, if possible, we want to pick up a shutdown on Jhin at some point in time. We have to E to block, not block, but to avoid the Jhin W there. Nami gets engaged on by Thresh. We're able to trade back a little bit of health onto the Thresh. Nami walking up again, pretty aggressive. We have the full stack passive here, looking to see if anything can get done. I don't think that they're in there checking with the Q. They're not in the bush there. Placing down a ward just to ensure we can see what's happening. I think I saw someone walk into the bush there. It's actually Lux. Lux is in the bush there. And now Zed is here, looking to go in. Nami gets another kill onto the Thresh. Jin doesn't get hit by my ult. I'm going in onto the Lux. Lux is 1 HP, flashes away, and Jin looks like he's on the way to kill me again. This time I'm able to actually space him, but Seraphine gets the shutdown instead of myself. I mean, it's better than Nami getting the shutdown, so I guess I won't complain too much, but I'm still at 0 kills into the game with 5 assists. Playing, of course, the support Ezreal at this point. My support has more gold than me because she's been taking all of the kills. She is like 100 gold more than myself, which is just ridiculous if you really think about it. However, 3 of us here together are going to be able to force down the first tower, hopping away in case Thresh hits the hook or tries to hook me, but he hits a minion instead. And now here I'm going to get a base, complete my mana mune, and of course, you know, launching my spells at random to just charge it up more quickly. At this point, if you throw like 3 spells, it's 45 stacks onto the mana mune, charging it up real quick. Of course, your auto attacks will charge it up as well. Here I'm launching an ulti to try to help out at mid lane, but I end up not actually hitting anybody because I was expecting them to walk back, which they did, but I kind of misjudged how fast they would do so, so I end up not actually hitting them. Now here I try to go in for a 1v1 against Jin, right? But he cleverly plays around the minions, so I can actually hit my Q on him. Now I believe that if I actually was able to hit all of my Qs on him, I actually think I kill him. I can see that based on my HP and his HP, like if I actually hit like just one more Q, I would have killed him. But because he was dancing around his minions, which is really smart of him to do, I was not able to hit my Qs, and I couldn't actually get the kill on him. If I had been able to do that, I'm very certain he dies, you know, without being able to cast out and kill me. So and I end up dying there, and using my flash as well. So really dire straits for myself. Now I'm like 0, 3, and 5. So the game definitely does not start off well. But looking at the rest of my team, my Tryndamere is pretty fed, my Seraphine is pretty fed as well, and my Zed is doing kind of alright. I'm a little bit behind the enemy jungler, but not too bad. And honestly, the main deficit at this point is in the ADC department. I mean, my support is like 1k gold up on Thresh because of all those kills that she's been taking. And I have like a huge deficit against Jin of like about 2k or so. So I'm kind of bringing the team down at the moment. Here launching my ult once again. Again, it hits kind of nobody because I kind of misjudged how fast they would walk back. However, I'm trying to make it to the fight here, trying to engage onto the Thresh. Now, unfortunately, I don't get the hop over the wall. I was trying to get over the wall there, but I end up failing it and getting stuck in the pit instead. Now, Irelia here is trying to go in. She's 1 in 3 though. She's pretty far behind. I actually have more gold than her, which kind of shows how far behind she is. And I managed to get the kill on her, which is my first kill of the game. Now going to bot lane to just pick up some farm. We really need farm. Like at this point, we only have as much gold as our support, which is, once again, why is that the case? Probably because my support has taken all the kills. But anyways, we push out the lane and we're making our way toward our team. Dragon is up, so there's probably going to be a fight at Dragon. And Bessa is getting chased off with Irelia respawning and Thresh about to respawn real soon. For now, we have an advantage to the Dragon, right? Aside from the fact we have no jungler, but in terms of a fight like this, we actually have an advantage. Now here, I get really unlucky, so I try to ult Jin, Jin dodges it, and then Jin uses Magnetron Enchant to escape. Like, which Jin takes Magnetron Enchant? So here, I try my best not to give the kill to the Jin, and Thresh ends up taking the kill instead, which is actually great, considering that there's no way I live there anyway. Thresh getting the kill is better than Jin. And yet Jin has Magnetron Enchant to dash to his ally to run away. Like, who does that? Like, who builds that as an ADC? But anyway, he does indeed build that, and as a result, I'm not able to finish the kill on him when he's 1 HP, and I end up dying instead. Good news though, is that I actually have the Mana Mune evolve into Mirror Mana before I even complete my Triforce. Now, this is actually pretty rare on the old Ezreal. Normally, you have the evolution about the same time as you get your Triforce, or sometimes even a good amount after, depending on how much spells you actually use. But in this case, we actually pick up the evolution before we even get Triforce, and we're only like halfway toward Triforce. So of course that is a pretty big deal, and getting the evolution earlier is of course a much better thing. So here we are in lane trying to push the tier 1 tower here. And Irelia is trying to go in on us. We have Nami with us, and our team is kind of behind as well. Here we get a nice ult onto Irelia. Irelia is trying to go for the fruit. Nami hits the bubble, and I'm able to Q auto for the kill. Seraphine and Tryndamere both trying to KS, but thankfully we do secure the kill there to just trying to get ourselves back into the game. At this point, I'm behind the entire enemy team except Irelia and Thresh, and Irelia is really doing bad because she is like the same goal as Thresh. You know, same as myself and the Nami situation, but now I finally have more gold than Nami's here. And Bessa really weirdly engages onto me, but goes for the kill onto Seraphine instead. I guess Seraphine had a shutdown, so that does make sense, but I flash away in panic, but she wasn't even going for me in the first place, so that's really weird. Anyways, my team decides to go for Baron, so here, I actually think this is a very, very risky Baron, but we are doing it anyway. Ambessa is dead, but we do have Irelia as well as Lux here, and I think if they play it correctly, they can change this a lot, because look at our HP bars, like, Nami's 1 HP and Zed is 1 HP. Here is Irelia. Irelia Lux one-shot me. They're going for Zed and Nami perhaps. But Zed very smart. He gets out of the pit, goes back in, secures the Baron, prevents them from stealing it. And then goes away. Now here Tryndamere gets chain CC'd and is not able to back. Nami is now on the run. Nice bubble onto the Thresh. Is still running. Seraphine gets the trade onto the Thresh. Another bubble onto Thresh. Jhin is now in. Kills Nami very easily. And Seraphine is now the only person left standing on my team. She picks up the mushrooms. Jhin ult is coming through. She very smartly flashes away early before Ambessa is able to cast the ulti. Here I get a really good ult onto the wave as well as 2 people. Seraphine though can't say the same. Her ult goes to Narnia. And here we're just going to take out the rest of the minion wave and try to get farm. Now, our buff is getting taken by the enemy team, and we can't let them take it for free. So here, I get cooked by Thresh, but I go unstoppable with the QSS, and not QSS, with the cleanse, and we're able to take down the Thresh. So in the end, it's a blue buff for a Thresh trade. I think that's fine. Thresh though, not very valuable though. He's 2 and 7, so he's not doing the best in the world. Here, Ambessa tries to ult us, but we're able to Arcane Shift out of the way in time, putting her ult on cooldown. And ult to chunk a little bit, but barely does any damage to Ambessa, to be honest. She is really tanky. I'd rather try to go in again. We're just going to shift away to ensure she doesn't engage onto us, because obviously, even though she is behind, she's still at 2 items, and she still can kind of one-shot us. I mean, ourselves, we're also only at 2 items, so we are like about the, like, we're actually 1k go up on her, so yeah. But anyways, here we get the kill onto her. Thresh goes down as well. Tryndamere is going ham, running under tower. Ambessa is ulting in, and is able to get the kill on Tryndamere and get back out. Thresh goes in with the ulti into his stasis. He is committing for the kill. I'm trying to snipe out somebody. I actually hit the Ambessa, but she doesn't die because she's, again, she's a bit too tanky. And Zed is now pinging to do the dragon. Of course, this is going to be Mountain Soul for the enemy team if we don't secure it. So we are, Zed did get one shot by Lux there, but I am able to secure the dragon and deny the soul from the enemy team. Now here Ambessa goes deep into Nami, deep onto Nami, and then here we're going to chase her down, run her down, we're landing our spells, and we're able to run her down with the autos and the Qs and pick up the kill onto her. So our ult doesn't do that much damage, but our normal auto attacks and, you know, spells do deal a lot of damage. I mean, she's really tanky at this point. She has Try into Black Cleaver into Death's Dance at this point, so she is really tanky, but we are still able to take her down. Thankfully, we're not that weak. And here we're just trying to farm it up to getting the Sorela's Grudge. I believe with that, we probably would have enough for the completion, because I don't think I will be resetting. There we go, Sorela's Grudge completed. So of course, as I mentioned, with the extra 10% AD, getting Sorela's Grudge is going to be a big spike because of the AD that it gives. Fight is happening in the mid lane. I'm trying to make my way there to help out my team. Seraphine ult goes into my ult to get the 2-man chunk, but yeah, here I get caught a little bit by Lux. I'm going to have to QSS to, not QSS, I keep saying QSS, but I mean cleanse. I'm going to have to cleanse out. And here each side has lost a member. Sorry, my side has lost 2 members because I end up going down and Bessa catches out Nami. Nami goes down, and yeah, that just was not good, right? I mean, I already cleansed the previous one, and obviously I don't have it up again. I get caught, you know, by Lux, and I get one shot by her, pretty much 100-0 at that point. And now the enemy team is doing Baron, so the game definitely is looking a bit dire. This is definitely not an easy game. The enemy team has a lead for most of the game, and in fact, now we actually have a 1k goal lead on the enemy. Thresh is just zoning our members away from the Baron. Zed tries to get the Baron, tries to get the steal, but ends up not actually getting the steal. It ends up just dying instead. Now Seraphine, again, is the only person left, trying her best to defend. Clears up the non-Baron wave here, and myself and Nami are coming back up. Elder Dragon is just 40 seconds away. Very, very close to being up here. Now, fight is intense. Now, for some reason, Thresh and Irelia completely troll the game by being in our jungle. I guess they're counter jungling, but we are all already respawning, and they basically throw the game because now their team is gonna have to play like 4v3 at the moment and 5v3 later on when our Zed is up. Now, Tryndamere here is trying to eliminate Jhin off the map as well, but I think he's getting kited, and I think Tryndamere is in trouble. He's probably gonna die. However, something very significant that's a little bit underrated here is that although Tryndamere kind of inted here, Tryndamere did force Jhin to use both Flash and Ghost. So Jhin has no more safety tools. So in the ensuing fight, if Jhin gets caught up by anything, for any reason, like Seraphine out for example, Jhin is not getting out. He doesn't have QSS. He has basically used all his defensive tools, and he's not going to be able to get out very easy. So now this is a very, very kind of awkward dance at the Elder Dragon. It is about half HP. I'm just trying to land poke because I'm not sure of doing the Elder Dragon. Now Irela's coming in. She goes in 1v4. Seraphine gets a huge charm onto like I think 3 people at least. I'm going into the ult. I managed to snipe out the Jhin. Jhin is gone. And now I'm just going to hit whoever is the closest target. Thresh is here. I'm going to hit him. And Bessa now is chasing onto us. She gets caught out. She's trying her best to survive. I'm going to have to flash forward to go for the kill on her. We get the kill on her. And we actually get a quadra kill with the shutdown onto the Lux as well. Tryndamere is desperately trying to defend our base. And we're just going to pick up the Elder Dragon. With the entire enemy team wiped off the face of the map, it's going to be a free one for us. And we are able to pick up the Elder Dragon. Now, of course, this is going to be a huge turning point of the game because getting Elder is huge. The Baron did do a lot of damage to our base and the current situation, but we are able to defend both of our side lane inhibs, which is the most important ones. And there's no super minions that are going to be spawning in the side lanes, only in the mid lane, which is not too bad. And we have like 1 minute and 40 seconds of Elder Dragon to actually use. So during this time, the enemy team needs to kind of avoid fighting us because we've shown that we can win fights at this point. And I'm actually like 4 items now with the Bork as well in my pocket. And at this point, here we're trapping for somebody. Thresh gets chain CC by everything. However, we used like 2 ultimates to kill 1 Thresh. So I think that's not really the best in the world, but we do eliminate 1 enemy member from the map. And here we are trying to maybe push down. Tryndamere is getting caught out. I use the ulti to get rid of the Irelia and get a chunk as well. Now we gotta clear out these minions so that we have the push to perhaps try to kind of get in a position where we can maybe end the game if the enemy team takes a bad fight. I mean, 2 of their members are already down. The rest of them have to be very, very careful. Wave clear on Lux is pretty insane though. Now here I'm trying to ping to push the side lanes because we don't want to only push mid and just keep running into them. So here I'm creating pressure on the side lane by pushing this tower. We have a huge minion wave here. And Jhin has to stay away from me because if I get a W on him and I just E forward, I can pretty much attempt to one-shot him. Now his traps do a lot of damage. And now with 20 seconds of Elder left, we're going to go ahead and go for Baron. We're gonna be able to secure the Baron. And now with Baron but no Elder, I mean we still have 10 seconds of Elder, but so maybe we can make use of it. Here we're just going to escape the Jhin ulti, and again, we still have Baron now, so now we're going to try to use that Baron to push, but we don't have Elder anymore, so fights are not going to be as simple, as previously. Speaking of fights, a huge fight is breaking out in the river for no apparent reason. Irela's getting completely caught out. I spot the fed Lux, and here I can't believe I didn't kill her. I mistimed the ultimate, and she actually escapes, but and she's now stuck in the pit. I'm gonna chase onto Thresh and try to get rid of him. He gets out as well, but he has to use a lot of his tools. And here we're now just gonna try to just force the issue, because here we have Baron and we have Baron waves. We're gonna try to make our way in. And we're gonna try to force the issue here. And here we're doing a lot of damage at this point in time, so we're just basically poking them under their own nexus. And this is not really the smartest decision, right? Because like it's really hard to end the game just like by forcing, but we are getting like our main aim is to get autos onto the base. You can see I'm going in for the autos onto the base whenever we have minions, and then backing off when we don't, and then poking them in the rest of the time like this. You can see I'm just poking, and Thresh actually almost dies from the poke, and I actually kill him with the ulti there while he was trying to get health onto the base. And here, again, very desperately, we're just trying to end the game. Here I'm just landing poke on whoever I can, and then just going in for the base whenever I can. 1 minion's about to walk in, I'm going for the base here. You can see I'm slowly but surely chipping away at the base, and the enemy team is struggling to defend. Lux gets caught out. This time she dies, and now we're just trying to force down the end of the game. And this time the wave is about to enter, and we're gonna just end the game like that. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.